All right, so today we will be looking at educational websites and we will be analyzing the advantages and disadvantages of certain websites that we would use as math teachers. So the three websites that we have are iExcel, MathXL for School, and then Schoology. iExcel and MathXL for School are more for practice and allowing students to practice content in our mathematics classroom, while Schoology is more of our learning management system that we would use for our students to have access to content whenever they need it. So first we're going to look at iExcel. iExcel is a website that allows students to practice math concepts. It creates personalized guidance that helps each student fill knowledge gaps and grow. And then incites and assists teachers in adapting their lessons to support the students that need extra help in other areas, or to go through a reteach lesson, or just restart the lesson completely. And it allows teachers to figure out where they need to adjust their lessons to help their students. So the advantages of iExcel are that it creates a personalized learning experience for students. Personalized learning focuses on tailoring instruction and activities to individual learner preferences, interests, and needs. And this is from Zhang and some other authors that they wrote about in 2022. In iExcel, students will be told to complete a certain assignment, and it goes by a letter and a number. So say they are to complete G1, which focuses on slope-intercept form when we're teaching slope and equations of lines. Students will start working on questions, and if they start getting the questions correct and they continue to get the questions correct, they will have to start completing harder questions, so the questions increase in difficulty. But if iExcel notices that they're not getting these questions correct, they will start giving them different questions that will help them get to the point that they need to be at to answer the medium questions. So it increases in difficulty and also decreases in difficulty depending on the questions that the students are getting correct. Students also receive instant feedback, so they're told right away if they have a question correct, and they're told if they have the question incorrect. If they have the question incorrect, iExcel will provide them the steps to complete the question and then give them a similar question so that they can complete it again and use the information that they were told on the previous question to complete the new question. And then, like I said, the question difficulty increases. Again, that depends on whether the student's getting it correct or they're getting it incorrect. So someone that's going to continue to get the questions correct on an iExcel, they will get the most difficult question by the end of the assignment. The disadvantages is that it does not create real-world applications. It'll just be simple arithmetic problems, simple what's the slope, very, very simple questions that students can answer relatively quickly. It also lacks collaboration and social interaction with peers. This can cause students to feel a little isolated, and they may miss the interaction that comes with working in group work during class time. This is from Sadeghi 2019. There is no collaboration on iExcel. It is the student is to complete an assignment, and that's the only student completing that assignment. There is no collaboration online with another student about it. And depending on how the teacher wants to run the classroom, the student might not even be able to talk to another student in the class about, hey, how do I complete this question? So it's really just the students complete the question. They may get it right, they may get it wrong. If they get it wrong, iExcel will show them how to redo the problem to get it correct, and then they'll move on to the next question. Our next website is MathXL for School. So MathXL for School is one of the versions that Pearson Education offers. There's also MathLab, which is for college courses. So MathXL for School is for K through 12 schools. It's an online homework assessment and tutorial program that automatically grades assignments, personalizes homework and study plans, and gives immediate feedback from students, and that's what the Pearson Education website said in 2023. Students have easy access to extra support where they need it, include being walked through a problem. So in MathXL, if they're doing a homework assignment, they are able to click the button that says view an example, and then MathXL will walk them through an example that's exactly the same as the problem they have. It'll just be different numbers. There is a feature it's like a walk me through this problem feature, which doesn't necessarily help the students learn what they need to do, but it kind of completes the problem for the students. And then students also have access to instructional videos, and then other math tools, and then the English-Spanish glossary, and access to textbook pages. Advantages of MathXL is that it creates personalized study plans for students to practice concepts they need to improve on. So depending on the questions that students are getting right on their homework assignments, the questions they're getting right on their quizzes and their tests, and the questions that they're getting wrong, it incorporates all that into the student's study plan, so that the student can look back at it and practice the questions that they need to practice to meet the mastery level that they need to meet and close any knowledge gaps. MathXL also gives immediate feedback to increase motivation and engagement. So students they can answer a question on their homework and press check answer, which would be in the bottom right-hand corner of their screen. And it'll tell them if it's right or if it's wrong. If it's incorrect, it will tell them, say they were supposed to use distance formula and they use midpoint formula instead. It will be like, hey, we're finding the distance from one point to another point, so you should try using this formula. And it'll come up, or the students can retry the problem, then they can check the answer again. And depending on how the teacher sets it up, they could set it up to have the students try 3 times to get the problem correct, or they could have an infinite amount of times. They can have no times that they're able to retry it. But MathXL allows them to have that immediate feedback so they know where they're going wrong in their problem. The disadvantages is that the questions and content only correspond to what is in the specific textbook that the specific course is set up for. So if you want to bring in different questions, you can, but you can only do that when you're creating the assignment. And MathXL does not pull up other questions from a different textbook when students want to see a different question. Like if a student gets the question wrong and they want a similar question, it'll just give that same exact question because MathXL is limited to that single textbook that the class is based off of. It only shows one way to complete a problem when the students are using the view an example feature. So in math, you are able to use different ways to solve a problem, and MathXL only shows the one way that the book corresponds to. So the way that the book is using is the way that MathXL will show the students. Students can only create an account if they have an access code from a teacher, so they'll have a specific course code that they can use to get into the course. And then students cannot access previous course content. So if they were in Algebra 1 course one year, and then the next school year they go into a geometry course, they cannot access any of the content or any of their previous quizzes or assignments that they completed in that Algebra 1 course. Our learning management system that we're going to be discussing is Schoology. So Schoology is the learning management system for K-12 schools that allows districts to improve student performance and empower learners. It has multiple features that allows for collaboration and easy access to assignments at all times. So when students are at home, they can still access their courses. Educators can create quizzes, discussion posts, and assignments. And then they can also post PDFs of notes so students can access them at any time. And then Schoology also combines social networks and LMSs with social interaction. So it does create a social interaction aspect. And that is from Stella Suaro and other authors from 2020. Advantages: students can take quizzes and tests online, and then they're automatically graded if this teacher sets it up to be automatically graded. And they also are able to practice digital citizenship by using collaboration features such as discussion posts. So students can start becoming aware of how to act responsibly when interacting with each other through technology. And then parents, teachers, and students can communicate effectively with each other, again, practicing some more digital citizenship. The disadvantages is that notifications are not always visible, so students may lose a notification or a teacher may lose it, and Schoology is not always an easy website to navigate. It's not always easily accessible. There is also no way to prevent cheating during an assessment, so MathXL has a lockdown browser to take a quiz on, but Schoology does not have anything of that type.